Welcome everybody to our Let's Play of Phantasy Star 2 for the Sega Genesis. I am Drak.
I'm Shadow.
And let's get right to it, shall we? It's been a long time in the making. If you guys need a recap on what happened to the previous game, go watch it. It's on our channel. Now we're going to go into the second game, which is actually considered to be one of the best that came out on the Genesis. One of the best RPGs, anyway. Alright, yeah, data for one. Okay, we're gonna go for a new game. Already it's a better looking game. And we're gonna go with the character's main default name, which is Rolf.
Rolf.
There we go. Well then, let's begin the game. I am haunted by nightmares every night. A young girl is battling a giant demon. I am close by, but can't move or speak. I keep screaming, Rachel! Alright, I'll stop, guys. All I can do is watch while the demon keeps striking at the girl. Just as she is fighting for her life, I awake. I awake in my room, dimly lit by the early dawn. I am filled with an incredible sadness and fear. I am Rolf, an agent here in Paseo, the capital of Mota, or Motavia. I shake my head, as if to scatter the remnants of the dream. I have no time to worry like a child about nightmares. In this modern age, especially with the mother brain planning and controlling all aspects of the environment, I open my window and take a deep breath of fresh air. It seems to wash away the bad feelings left by my dream. And already we're getting a facelift compared to what things were looking like.
Yep.
Good morning, Rolf. How are you? Almost 2 years have passed since you started working for me, the commander of Mota, because we needed an introduction. What I'm going to ask you to do will be the toughest job you have ever done, but it is vital to the future of Mota. As you know, Alco has been brought up by Mother Brain. My work as a commander has been to smoothly promote the plans of Mother Brain, so the big brother can watch you. I had believed that Mother Brain never makes mistakes, until that chick named Samus Aran screwed her up completely. But those monsters all over Mota are just too much! We must find out by ourselves why those monsters were born, and how to bring them under control. Because Samus Aran wouldn't let us get it for free. Rolf, your mission is to go to the Biosystems Lab, and get the recorder. If we look into the data, we can figure out how the Biosystems Lab ended up making those monsters. Rolf, I hope from the bottom of my heart that you come back safely with the recorder. We'll see each other again. In some Phantasy Star sequel or another. I actually don't think we see him ever again. After going home and preparing for the trip, Nay seemed worried. Nay, I have to leave for a while. Nay stared at me for a moment. I remembered when we first met. She looked at me in just the same way. This was 7 months ago, when I started really getting into anime and colored my hair blue, because she was the product of a mixture of human cells and those of a bio monster. She was an outcast from society. You were still small when we first met, but now you can take care of yourself. I'm going on a dangerous journey. Too dangerous for you. I worry about you like you were my sister, but I totally don't think of you as my sister. Still, Nay stood in the doorway to keep me from leaving. Please, Rolf, take me with you. I'll do anything for you. Oh, that's wrong. I took my sack and started to go, but Nay still blocked the way. I had no choice. I decided to let her come with me. Because who knows, those nights may be lonely. Alright, and so now we have our featured party, which is of course with the blue-haired guy and
Purple-haired girl.
Purple hair. Well, I'm actually going to go with what your sister called, purple-haired Barbie, so that if people have a problem, they can go back to my wife, who called her Barbie, and now I can't stop calling her that. But unfortunately, as with most Phantasy Star games, we have to start up this and then grind. So, we're going to go ahead and take a quick break, and then we'll be back after the grind session is done. I am Drak.
And I'm Shadow.
And we'll see you then. Alright, everybody, welcome back to our Phantasy Star L2, Phantasy Star L2, Phantasy Star 2 Let's Play. I'm Drak.
I'm Shadow.
And we currently have a mission where we need to go and investigate the Mother Brain, because we're in Metroid. And we have our compatriot Nay here, who, despite our telling her not to do anything, she's still gonna go with us. And we are actually ready to go, so let's do that. I just gotta find a way out. And obviously Motavia looks a little different now these days, doesn't it? It's no longer Tatooine. It's more like Alderaan.
Yes.
And of course now we've got to go through... Alright, now this is actually Alex's first sample of the combat here. So, are you ready for it, Alex?
Yeah, I'm ready for it. Miss.
This is one of those RPGs. This is actually a mechanic I don't like that much, because you basically say fight and then put it into autopilot unless you want to change minor things about it. I'm on the fence on stuff like that, but it plays well, so I'm not going to fault it too much. It just makes grinding incredibly tedious.
Yeah. Bees. My god.
Exactly. Giant robotic bees. My god. Batman was right! Bees are the enemy! Also, the grid is a little disconcerting. You know, I would have liked to have seen, like, a grass field and a snow field.
Yeah, that is weird that it's
a grid?
A grid.
Yeah. Almost like it's on the Sega Master System or something.
Yeah.
Alright, so now we are in the town... Oh, never mind.
In fact, I'm surprised this is a Genesis game.
A little bit, yeah. I will say, though, given that we are both anime fans, do you like the anime aesthetic of it?
Oh, yeah.
I'll admit, that's the one of the things that really redeems it, is that they stayed true to the anime aesthetic of the first game. In fact, they made it better.
Yeah.
Alright, now we are going to go into the town of Arima, and holy moly, they've had a hard time. Now, it's not actually explained, but, you know, we could assume that this is Mother Brain creating too many monsters, and the monsters coming in and wreaking havoc. So, before we do anything, we're going to go hit the hospital. May I help you?
It'll cost you 20.
I'm sorry, but I get a little bit of a raised grandpa kind of vibe from him. Alright, so now we've got that done. There really isn't anything to do right now here, but I'm going to introduce Alex to this really quick because this is a huge improvement compared to the first game. You see this little shop right here?
Yes.
This is a teleport station.
Oh, nice.
So when you have officially visited a town on this planet, you can now teleport there for, you know, I think it's like 60 Mazesta each. So, and given how much you're actually going to be grinding, 60 Mazesta is just nothing.
Right.
So you will be doing this at the end, especially since, if you kind of notice, there are like particular shops, but not all the shops are here. So it's got, I'm just showing it off really quick. It's got a hospital, so you can grind nearby.
Right.
It's got a bunch of broken houses. This store actually is Resurrection, or the cloning labs.
Right.
Basically, they clone you. Here's the weapon shop, but it doesn't have an armor shop. It doesn't have an item shop, and it doesn't have a memory bank, so you can't save.
Right.
Saving won't be a huge issue later on, but I'm just pointing that out now. So now we're going to go ahead and use the teleport station. Now, she looks like she should have been a character in the game.
Yes.
Okay, so now we're going to teleport to Paseo and use up a majority of our Mazesta.
But we don't have to buy anything soon.
No, we don't.
Okay.
And then whenever you visit a new town on, I want to say Palma, but it isn't, it's Botavia, you get the added advantage of this happening. There's a knock at the door. I'm sorry to intrude, but I have heard that Rolf and Ney are trying to solve the mystery of biomonsters. I am a professional biomonster hunter. I have little talent, except that I am good with a gun. I also want to go with you. My name is Rudo, which is short for Rudolf Steiner. Maybe you think you know a better name for me.
Do we?
No! Now get out! Your name fits you well. I'm glad we had to have you in our group. Let's check the roster at the point where Rudo can come in. And so, basically, every time you visit the town, we will get a new character.
Oh, nice.
The downside of this is they start at level 1.
Of course.
So we're going to go ahead and reorganize and put Rudo in our party. Oh, I'm sorry, Rudolf Steiner! Or as my wife actually put it best, and I would like to bring this joke to your attention. She's like, oh, look, you have Luke, you have Leia, and then you have Lunkhead. Because she'd heard me called Odin Lunkhead. So I'm like, yes, he is, because Rudo is the new Lunkhead in this series. So, now with that, unfortunately, it means...
We gotta go grind.
We gotta go grind Rudo. So, we are gonna go ahead and hit the memory bank once again, and then I gotta go grind... Yeah, our first part is going to be a little bit disjointed just because we have to grind all this time, but then we'll start getting into it. Hey everybody, I am Drak.
And I am Shadow.
And welcome back to our Let's Play of Phantasy Star 2 for the Sega Genesis. Now, we've actually done a lot in the meantime. I had to go off and do a little bit of grinding, so I'm just going to kind of showcase what we've done so far. First of all, Rudo and everybody is a very comfortable level. Even though Nay looks very overpowered, you kind of have to cut her level in half to see if she's in the right place. Because she gets a lot of levels. Also, with that, we also have some abilities. Not very good ones, but we have them. And of course not Rudo, because Rudo's a lunkhead. And also we have a bunch of items, because here's one of the things that kind of drags the game down. Everybody has a personal inventory. So everybody has their own healing items, and also in the case of Rudo, he has a telepipe and an escape pipe. Obviously, those are what you think they are. They can teleport you out of dungeons and things like that. And we're actually ready for our first dungeon. We're going to go into the tower, to Shore Tower. But first of all, we need to make our way there. I can't talk. I don't know why. So first of all, we're going to hit the teleport station. And we have a new town. We have Arima, which was horribly nuked. Horribly damaged. So, alright, so we're going to head out of Arima and make our way to Shore, which is actually not very far off. And get an attack right off the bat. Of course. But people can now see how overpowered we are.
Yeah, one shot. That's the way I like it.
Now, a lot of people might be asking, like Phantasy Star fans might be asking, well, Rudo starts with a bowgun. Why did you give him daggers? It's actually kind of recommended that you do that. He's better in this part of the game with melee-based weapons because he can get more attacks out of it. I know it sounds kind of bass-ackwards, but that's just kind of how it ended up, so... And ignore the mouse pointer, I'm actually bringing up a guide, because we're getting ready to do our first dungeon, and for people who have played Phantasy Star 2, dungeons are incredibly long. So, bear with us, we'll have to do a couple of things repeated. We may even have a death, I'm not gonna lie. I'm hoping not, but we may have a death.
Oh my.
That's why I totally loaded down with monomates and things like that. Alright, and so here... Oh, man! Stop attacking me! Running is almost non-existent, so I might as well just fight through. You can try and run, but most of the time, in my experience, you don't get a successful one. But hey, Rudo gained a level.
Alright.
Alright, so that is Shore. So here we go. Now, I might get a little quiet here, so Alex might have to compensate for me, but...
what am I gonna say?
Well, I'm just saying. It might just get a little quiet because I gotta follow this guide. And once again, we are using a guide from, I believe his name is the Starbird. We credited him for our first Phantasy Star LP. He helped very much through BioMLA. We're going to be using him again, so thank you again for your guide.
Yes, thank you.
And we're gonna hope that we don't get too many encounters, but it might happen. At least we're fighting stuff that's outside. In some cases with these dungeons, you will fight stuff that is way more powerful and probably in another area of Motavia. Now, for those who don't actually remember the plot, we are actually looking into why the Mother Brain, who's basically in charge of everything in our lives, has somehow broken down and is basically launching a bunch of mutants at us. So that's what we're trying to do at the moment. And I got quiet, yes I know, just because I wanted to make sure I'm going the right way.
So I noticed these cracks in the floor. Are those like traps?
No. Believe it or not, hazards will come later in the game. I think it was just... Maybe it was meant to be an environmental hazard, but now it just kind of makes it look like place is run down.
Right. So they're just graphical.
Pretty much. And this is one of the downsides, is that it's hard to see where you're going because the ceiling is part of this. And...
It's very annoying.
Yeah, a little bit.
Locusts.
At least I know that I can wipe out locusts.
Miss.
Yes, Nay misses occasionally. Come on. Oh.
This place is starting to remind me of the factory in Chrono Trigger. Not the battlefield, but the tower.
A little bit, and a lot of the dungeons in Motavia are kind of that way. They are kind of like the original Phantasy Star in the fact that they are the same place but different color palette. Mm-hmm. This is no different. The problem is that they're just longer. I may have actually destroyed it. I gotta go back. Crap.
Are we lost?
A little bit. It's kind of difficult to figure out. Okay, so here's where I need to go to the middle section. And awesome, the frog totally bled on us.
Froggy!
Froggy! But no, Froggy! Froggies are annoying in this game.
They look like they are.
Yes. Okay. Yeah, I'm going the right way. What the crap? This is one of those games where I actually will use the guide, but I may also pull out a map, because it's really easy to get lost. Thankfully, we're not having too many problems. If it gets too bad, I may have to use a telepipe, but I don't mind, because while we're in here, we're getting Buku experience to buff up characters.
That's always good.
Which will help with grinding later. Okay, I'm going back over here. The problem is that the encounters get a little frustrating. Because they happen all the time. Yes, I know we went quiet. Alex is helping me concentrate. Which is good on his side, because this takes a little bit of time. Alright, I think this is the way to go, yeah. Okay. So up and around. I am really getting sick and tired of Froggies bleeding on us.
So I take it you can't, like, designate your targets.
You can, in the sense that you can designate which type of enemy.
Mm-hmm.
So if you say B, then they will attack Bs first.
Right.
But you can't say, like, BA, BB, anything like that. And it's all an auto-attack feature, which can be frustrating at times. There we go. The part that's frustrating is that it is a regular RPG. Every couple of steps, you get a random encounter. That and the other thing that kind of bothers me about the battle screen is that it is a grid. I would really like to have seen, what this place looks like on the inside, and they didn't do that.
Yeah.
Okay, there we go. So if I keep going left...
Hell, even the treasure boxes are like the factory treasure boxes.
Yeah, this is very futuristic compared to the previous Phantasy Star, where we didn't really get a whole lot of that. And here's our first shoot. There we go. So take this one, and then... Alright, so keep going left. And now we're starting to see different enemies.
Yes.
So the deeper we get in, the more difficult the enemies get, which can be both a good and a bad thing in the fact that the enemies hit harder. But now we're starting to see the bio-monsters that the Mother Brain has created, and we don't understand why. And we don't know why Samus Aran hasn't come in to stop this. I'm just saying.
Yeah, what's up with that?
Alright, so we gotta get this one with a Dimate, which is better than a Monomate.
Monomate, yes.
Let's see. Okay, we got that, so we gotta take this chute, and then we gotta go right a bit. And also, these are open gaps, so you can fall.
Oh, okay.
It's not cool.
What happens if you fall? You fall to a lower level?
Fall to a lower level, and you might actually even get yourself stuck to a point where you have to use a telepipe.
Amoeba.
And we are murdering amoebas before they can ever become anything else. Oh, there we are. That's what I'm looking for. Okay, so now we have headgear. This, in turn, is going to be kind of going to our meat shield, which is Rudo. So we're going to go ahead and send that over to Mr. Rudolf Steiner. Alright, so we just equip that to him really quick. Because he doesn't have headgear, but now he does.
Very nice.
Or he did, actually, to begin with. What the crap? Oh, I get it. Okay, we're just going to keep it for now, because we're going to sell it later. Take the chute you came out of. Okay. So, that's the chute I came out of. Wow, this fight looks so hard. He's a carrier! Does he carry the T-Virus?
Could be.
Do I need to worry about zombies?
I think you do.
No! I already worry so much about zombies. Because people won't shut up about them.
Very famous the days when zombies were undead instead of just infected.
Exactly. So, let's see. We're back on this floor, so we're gonna go this way. No, it's another carrier! See, I don't mind the fact that, like, in some of the zombie storylines, they try to say it's, chemical warfare. My problem is that zombies are so saturated now that it's really hard to get excited about them. It's like, oh, look, another zombie game. Or, oh, look, another zombie map. That's my problem with it.
Zombies are the in thing right now. They're chic.
Yes. Much like Geek. Because Geek is chic now.
Mm-hmm.
Now, people might be wondering, why are Nay and Rolf, or Nay and Rudo hitting more times, but Rolf is only hitting once, but harder? It's simply because I've only got, like, basic weapons on Nay and Rudo, and then I have, like, a full-on sword on Rolf. So, the more weapons you have, the more attacks you get. But in this case, it's better to give Rudo a sword. Or, not Rudo, but Rolf a sword. There's too many R names. It's better to give Rolf a sword and let him be kind of your big hit.
Seems like a good idea.
Okay, we get it.
You're getting down there, you might want to heal up soon.
Believe it or not, we're going to want to be a little bit more sparing. Because things are going to start hitting harder, so... Let's see. I think this is the right one I need to do. Take the shoot going up. I think this is the one.